Hello everyone, Mike again here, back with another Star Wars Destiny video. I've had a few people ask me over the last few days about Poe Dameron and what I thought of his ability and how his ability works. His ability is a little bit confusing. One thing I do like about Destiny is the game text is all generally very straightforward, so there isn't a lot of confusion like with other CCGs, like perhaps like Magic and games like that. But Poe does have a weird ability. So this isn't a breakdown on Poe's card or die. We'll get to that when I get to him eventually, because we're just working through the list, going one by one, and doing all the cards and characters. So we'll get to Poe at some point to discuss his like strategies with him and like who he pairs with and all that. We'll get to that video a little bit later. But what I'm doing today is I'm just breaking down how Poe's ability works. So, Poe's special says, so he has a special on his die, that you can discard a card from your hand to resolve one of its dice, if able, and then if it was a vehicle card, you can pay its cost and bring it back from your discard pile. So what this does is it lets you briefly resolve a side of a die, and then potentially bring it back if it was a vehicle. We're going to show you what it would look like first with it just being a normal card that isn't a vehicle. So, if we were to discard this IQA 11 blaster rifle, we could choose one of the sides, put the die on that side, and resolve it. So, let's say I resolve the special. I would be able to deal 2 unblockable damage to a character. And then the die would be removed, and this card would be in the discard pile. So he allows you to briefly put out a die, use whatever side you want on it, and then immediately remove it. Like I said earlier, if it's a vehicle, you can then pay the resource cost to actually keep it in play. So we're going to, let's see, bring up this one. So Millennium Falcon, for example. Let's say you discarded the Millennium Falcon with Poe's ability, and you put it on the 4 range damage side. You'd be able to do 4 range damage with the Millennium Falcon. The Millennium Falcon is currently in the discard pile, and if it's a vehicle, you can pay its 5 resources and bring the card back and put it into play, and basically just leave the die on the table, I believe. The one card it does not work with is Black One. So let me just turn that off, and here is Black One. You can still use his ability with Black One, but Black One's special says deal 1 damage to a character and then um, re-roll Black One's die. You don't get to re-roll the die if you played it with his ability, because I want to thank the Star Wars Destiny Facebook group for answering this question for me, where I wasn't sure if you would be able to keep the die in play with his ability, but you are not able to do that. So what you would do is you would discard Black One, put the die out to whatever side you wanted. Let's say you did the special and dealt 1 damage. You would then not be able to re-roll the die because you never rolled the die to begin with. Somebody explained it very well. You can't re-roll a die if it wasn't already rolled. So, but you could still resolve whatever side you wanted, and if you had the 4 resources, you can keep Black One in play. If that makes any sense. So basically, what Poe does is he gets a die out, discards a die, or discards a card, gets the die out, resolves it, and then it goes away. If it's a vehicle, you can then keep it out by paying its resource cost. His ability is a bit weird, but this is basically how you do it. So that's going to do it for this just quick video on Poe and his ability. Um, Remember to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And also be sure to check out the Star Wars Destiny Facebook group. It's an excellent community of Star Wars Destiny players, and people are just discussing strategy, discussing like deck builds and things like that. It's a really awesome community. I'm going to leave a link in the description to where you can check out that group on Facebook. It's really awesome, and I think you guys will enjoy it. So thanks again for watching, and take care.